Most New Year's resolutions are typically about physical health. Oh, I'm going to lose weight, or maybe I'll stop smoking or stop drinking. So they're often about physical health, and they're often about taking something away. So I'm not going to eat as much or reduce my caloric intake or the alcohol or the cigarettes. So I would suggest even just thinking about making sexual health a resolution and adding something to your life when it comes to sexual health. So making a resolution to work toward improving your sexual health, sexual intimacy. A great way to do that, and I often suggest this to couples that I work with, is to engage in sensual touching exercises. And when I say sensual, sensual is not sexual. It's not just physical intimacy. It's not just holding hands or cuddling, but it's kind of the in-between of just physical intimacy and sexual intimacy. So sensual intimacy. Adding sensual touch exercises to your already, the intimacy repertoire that you already have. So what this would look like is at least once a week, if you could fit it in your schedule, at least once a week, taking 20-30 minutes out of your day, and you and your partner really prioritizing that this is our time, making sure there's privacy, turn your cell phones off, lock the door if you need to, and for 20-30 minutes, split that time in half, where for 10 minutes, you're just touching your partner all over their body, their scalp, their face, all throughout to the toes, and then your partner touches you for the second half of the time. And you agree that this will not turn sexual. This is just sensual touching. So there's no pressure, there's no sexual pressure. It's just reconnecting. It's being physically intimate, sensually intimate, and it's prioritizing time with each other. And there's a second piece to this as well. It's not just about the touch, but it's also about being really present. So imagine, let's say you're being touched, or you're touching your partner, and you might be thinking like, oh, what are the kids doing? Or, oh, this is due at work, or your mind just might be wandering about a bunch of other different things that are on your plate. So I would really challenge you to try to be what's called mindful. So all those thoughts are going to come in. They're going to distract you. And you can recognize, like, yep, there are those stressful thoughts again. Let them kind of go by, and then go back to the sensations. So what does it feel like to touch your partner? What does it feel like to be touched? Go to all the different sensations. What do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? Back to the sensations. Distracting thoughts are going to come back again. Okay, hello, distracting thoughts, I see you. Let them go by. Back to the sensations. So really take that time with your partner to be present when you're doing the sensual touching. There's no pressure, there's no expectation. So much so that even during these exercises, what I'll tell couples is your goal is actually not to please your partner. Partner may be pleased, this may be very delightful, but that is not a goal. The goal is more the process of being present and mindful with your partner. But if you're touching your partner and you find yourself thinking, does he like this? Oh, am I doing this right? There is no right or wrong. And there's no pressure for your partner to like it or not to like it. It's just you two being present together. There's no demand, there's no expectations. This is not going to lead into anything. It's just being intimate and being present with each other. So think about your schedule that you have already. When you get home from work, maybe you do stuff with the kids, or maybe you don't have kids and you go right to let's eat dinner and let's watch our favorite show or a couple of our favorite shows. Well, what if you were to substitute, instead of watching that second favorite show, do these non-demand touching exercises instead? So what can you substitute? Maybe you and your partner just kind of veg out, and your partner's on their laptop and you're watching TV over here. Well, what if instead of that, taking that half hour when you two are just kind of vegging out separately, you come together? Just substituting. And just once a week, or maybe even once every other week, just substitute something that you're already doing with these exercises. When you think about these being non-demand exercises, don't add on demand to saying, well, we have to do this once a week, or we have to do this multiple times a week. Just see when you can fit it in your schedule. Even once a month could be an addition to your current intimacy repertoire. So a lot of times when I'll recommend exercises like these to couples, where I'll say, in this exercise, this is not supposed to become sexual. This is just sensual. Couples will say, whoa. So you're going to help us become more sexual and more intimate, but you're telling us we can't be sexual. Like, you're taking away sex so we can become more sexual? This doesn't make any sense to me. And so when couples ask me that, or when they bring up that point, I will really challenge them to tell me why. Why are you sexual or sensual in the first place? Why? Why is that important to you? And often what it comes down to is it's to connect. This is the way that I feel loved. This is the way that I connect with my partner. And so then I'll challenge couples and say, okay, so is the only way that you can connect and feel loved just with sex? Can you do that sensually? Can you do that physically? Can you do that non-physically with emotional intimacy? Does it have to be that sexual intimacy? And when couples really get challenged in that way, they go, oh, well, I guess this will bring us the closeness that we are seeking when we're sexual. This will bring us that connection. Okay, it's just a different way to do it. All right, I'm willing to give it a try.